couple of them.
So we are not Gathalarus's enemies. We are not his foe. We're like, we were just passing through.
No,
We really just wanted to No, stop it. We do not need to fight a Baldur Dragon, an army of kobolds.
We are
That'd be fun.
we are very underpowered for that.
We have to figure out what he wants and how we can get him to think that we can get him to that. Like, what brought him to the Underdark? Or, I don't know.
Remember, we do have some stuff we can present them as gifts if we can get our original bags.
I still don't know.
Well,
if he's,
would they be gifts if he already has them?
Well, if he doesn't know where they, you can think of it.
Yeah, you have to get something from
The bag of holding.
Vision and pull out. Or it's just...
Okay, all right. This is good.
And I've always been on my dresser.
Just being sure I remembered correctly.
Good.
Love you.
Love you.
That was kind of an echoey conversation.
Hey, this door's open. Picking up on both mics.
Yeah. Okay, so Tamaki and Jasu by itself.
Don't.
No.
Yeah. I like this plan already.
After you show up from his dream reality. Oh wait! He saw us. Maybe he didn't notice.
No, in all honesty, Rin is probably still going, what is that?
Yeah.
I think we all are
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah. Probably still in love.
That is terrifying, is what that is.
That looks like a challenge. Please. Big monster.
Later.
Down.
We can take him.
Monster.
This is my job, right?
Fine. That's still like my favorite scene in the whole movie. Seeing how, whoa, big monster. Oh, such a good movie. Oh man.
All right, so you guys have just come out of the dream realm back into objective reality.
Buddy.
Like Ira accompanying you,
Slosh around that one.
and you are being stared at by a huge dragon with the beholder head. And as all of its eyes focus in on you, somewhat disconcertingly, you note that each one of its eye stalks is focusing on a different one of you.
Oh, no. Just pick an eye, baby.
And,
Just pick an eye.
Literally,
Pick one.
there's 7 of us.
There are 7 of us.
And it looks over all of you and says, "Ah, I see you've gone with tactic 238 plus 97.33i, with a dash of a square root of cat. How devious, but unfortunately futile. The most efficient countermeasure is disintegration."
No.
No. If I had a newspaper, I'd whack you with it. No. Do not like disintegration.
No.
Oh, it's gonna be a rough night.
It seems you know our tactics more than we do, please.
You can play stupid all you want, but my list of prepared scenarios indicates that this Coordinates approximately with attack sequence 557B with infiltration vectors in the upper green hexagon series. Only very, very clever foes would think to take such an approach.
That's definitely us. Hexagon series. Yep. What's a hexagon?
How do you persuade something so
You can't
intelligent?
fool me, Goliath! I know you only pretend to ignorance of basic geometry. Most likely, you're the smartest one here.
Well, that's true.
That's definitely not true.
If I had a tie, I'd adjust it.
Just kind of ghost.
Adjusting my tattoo.
A little bit of chest hair on your.
The level of aggression presented is admittedly lower than would be expected for such circumstances.
Well, naturally.
We don't wish aggression. We're simply passing through.
Unlikely!
This voice is gonna kill me.
Can I druid craft a white rose and offer it to him?
As you start to do it, like,
Oh no!
it's just like,
You're like
it's
counters.
like, do not work your magics here! Like, and he just doesn't trust you at all, and like all of his eyes just like zoom straight on you.
Do I have the rose?
Sure.
Just a peace offering. Peace offering.
This makes no sense! I do not understand!
We merely wish to pass through here.
This is surely part of another ploy.
We come from the surface and have goals elsewhere in the Underdark, and we didn't know what we were stumbling into, the realm of such a powerful denizen of the Underdark. And we're sorry that we could not find another way to avoid disturbing your servants and your purposes, and if we would have your leave, we would leave as expeditiously as possible.
Exactly what assassins taking Plan 317 Blue Gamma would say!
I know what blue is. That one I know.
Maybe we should let you take the lead, Tamatia.
Clearly, I'm the smartest one here, so obviously.
What's the name of the Underdark city area where we're going?
Not that smart.
You're not actually sure where you're going.
We don't actually know what the city's called.
No, we were just like, it's this direction, and and our guide was like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you know that you came down this direction following Oswald Koulis. You don't know what his destination was. That's just...
Oh, okay. Have you heard of an Oswald Koulis working in the Underdark?
The slaver?
He's
Yes.
our only priority down here.
We've come to try and stop his operation. I don't know if that aligns with your priorities, but that's why we're trying to press on deeper to find him in the Underdark.
I have sometimes done business with this individual.
It's creepy, right?
Yes, we...
Not that I've ever met him.
I don't... That's probably pretty relative to a beholder dragon.
Yeah, everybody, you get the creepy vibe from everybody.
Has he taken the rose? I'm still offering it.
The rose just kind of drifts out of your hands, floats towards him. He examines it with a couple of eye stalks and promptly disintegrates it.
Yes, disintegrate the
I
rose,
tried.
not me. Thank you.
What is your business with Coolis?
In all honesty, we want to stop the slave trade.
We wish to return him to the surface for business.
Kind of looks back and forth between the two of you. Glances at Rin, seems to dismiss her, and goes back to Tamati.
Rude!
Just like super wide-eyed.
Totally gaining clout with this bewildered.
Please don't kill me.
I already died last night.
I didn't even hear what you said, Daniel, because I was talking over you.
I said basically the same thing.
Just a bit more straightforward to my
It's just, You must recognize that in this situation, all of you represent commodities. What reason do you have for me to release you freely?
Have you been having any troubling dreams lately?
I have all kinds of dreams.
Have you heard of the Aegis?
And all of his eyes turn to lock on you now. Says, so you know of them.
Yes.
We're trying to stop them.
Yes.
That's why
Amusing.
we've come down here to stop Oswald Koulis for the slave trade, so that way he won't supply the Aegis with slaves, and thus limiting their ability to expand and grow. Had we known you were
Or at
down
least
here, we would have come to talk with you in order to see if we can ally our forces with yours and continue to fight against the Aegis. Because you are clearly far more powerful than we are.
Clearly. Well, perhaps you then are aware that the Aegis does retain right of first refusal over Koulis' slaves. They source many of their foot soldiers by brainwashing his chattel.
Mm-hmm.
We had...
I've heard of that.
Yeah. It was kind of our assumption.
The Aegis associates with Koulis. Koulis only returns the favor to a limited degree. His motives are his own. What they
So
are
more of
precisely,
a
I am
contractor.
uncertain. However, he deals in slaves in every major drow city, with almost every noble house.
Sounds about
Does he have protection from those houses, or is he still operating independently of them?
He operates independently.
At least he's got that going for him.
The question remains of what you have to offer me if you wish to go free. As it is, I'm inclined to believe that you are more valuable to me in captivity than you are running wild out there.
I'll chime in. This is still scary because I remember the Beholder Dragon and I heard as a little kid in the Underdark,
Yeah.
horse. In your dream, we did see the future where even a great catastrophic dragon was absorbed by an entity. We mean to stop that.
I'm not hearing anything of use to me.
But we do have some gifts that we can give you as a great honor to. We do have, it's in our effects that have been taken, but we do have a map to a very, very large treasure that is yours
No,
if we can.
not the treasure map. That's for us.
I'm gonna whisper to him, I have another one. No, I like an easy
Oh.
message.
Yeah.
The kobolds in my service already provide me with a great deal of wealth from the mines. You're going to have to do much better than that.
We also have many histories of this continent that hold many, many secrets to the past that could be very
Worthless! Worthless!
What could one so powerful as you want?
What do you have to offer that is of actual value?
Can I offer him my morning star of possum summoning?
Ooh.
He's pretty chaotic. Who knows?
Sure, you offer it up. It floats towards him. He examines it. Yes, this is interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. I will let you go. The rest, however, have given me no reasons.
Hang on, I've got things.
Oh no!
I do happen to have in my other personal belongings, not on me. I have a box of Gillywigs magical soaps. Have you ever heard of Gillywigs?
I am not familiar with this name.
Apparently, he is a great magician of fancy tricks. He's imbued these magical soaps with different magical effects.
That globe with the brain in it.
And so you can use these soaps, and it'll give you a magical effect for 24 hours. But the effects are random, so I'm not sure exactly what they do. But I've always been tempted to try them. They look fantastic. But as I say, it is in, of course, my other personal effects.
You may keep your soaps. I am not interested.
Dang it, those are so fancy.
I'll offer, as my friend mentioned, it's with my other effects that were taken. But while we were trying to get through the genius of this cave, we were trying to climb a rope, and it fell and crushed us. I have a poison that, when it hits the person, it can turn them to stone. Imagine how amazing it would be to have a statue of a person frozen in whatever way you want. And they're all...
It's like he waggles one of his eye stalks and says, I could turn you to stone with this right now.
There you go.
But you wouldn't see the reaction of me falling or whatever. You would lose
So far, only one of you is free to go. Do you have anything of use?
Okay.
Mouse is gonna pull out, like, do you remember when we were at that, was it the Scary Mansion? They had, like, those brains that were in those, like,
Oh, yeah.
that are in, like, constant pain or something?
You took one?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she
We
did.
have the green glowing brain from from
That one's
underneath
mine.
Cora's mansion. Yeah, and then it was the catacombs,
This is the one that's in the,
the
like,
mind flayers. Yeah.
Yeah.
so Mouse is gonna grab that out of her bag and be like, behold! A brain that is still alive and in constant pain. Whenever you're stressed, you can just think of it. That's really weird.
I do business with the mind flayers already.
Tag nab.
Okay. So because we have copies of all of our stuff, right, from the dream world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, I have a few items that might be interesting, but it would take a bit of demonstration if you could bring a few of your servants in. Just 2 should be fine.
And a couple of kobolds walk in without him so much as saying a word.
Okay. First, I walk over to the first and slap the stick-on mustache on him. And I look to see his reaction.
He's very difficult to read.
Okay. And then this, I pass it to the second one, and I kind of give him the instructions on how to activate Cracklehaney's Orb of Undead Summoning. With the cuddle ghouls, I'll just kind of give him some space for that.
Yeah, he kind of watches dispassionately and pretty soon looks like he's just lost all interest as like all of this continues to happen with the poor
Not
kobolds,
funny.
but
All right.
Well, and I go swipe the stick-on mustache. Put it back.
I do have the terrible ice pick of Reckless Abandon. I don't know how much ice you get down here, but it could be cool.
you've expressed knowledge of the Aegis to me. Might you have anything related to them? Perhaps a coin.
Oh, we got extra coins from when Tamati and I killed like all the people at the base.
But do we want him to have them?
I don't care if he has them. I don't want to be dead.
So I think
You have Aegis coins in your possession.
we do.
Yes, we do.
For the price of 1 coin, you can all leave with my protection. In fact, I'll sweeten the pot
Holy, what does that coin
And-
do?
and throw in this talisman, and like for your leader, and he floats a talisman towards Tamati. Says, this is a talisman of discernment. It will boost its wearer's wisdom.
Yep. I pull out the coin. I'm like, yep. Before I give this over, I would ask how this coin is so important. I mean, it's a simple coin, isn't it?
If you do not know the coin's true value, then I only give up my own advantages in explaining it to you.
Now he's gonna message Mati and be like, tell him yes, but on condition that we can get our stuff back so we can still have ours.
Well, if it is of such great importance, and you have already so generously given so much, as I've said before, we have other items that are back in storage or that were taken from us. Would you be willing to also give those back to us as well?
You will have all that belongs to you for the coin.
I don't know that I like this, you guys.
I don't like it at all, but I like being free as well.
With double supply?
We're running all.
And we have more than one, right?
We have lots of them,
Yeah.
especially if
Yeah,
we have
we
double
have-
our stuff.
You guys have one.
I look at him like, one moment, I need to confer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
So-
you have more than 1 coin. The question here
Yeah.
is
The
not
two
like
of you
will
pick
you
up
still have a
one.
coin, it's do you want Gethalorus to have a coin. Like,
Terrified of what this coin does.
Yeah, the 2 of you have a coin. Or had a coin.
Yeah.
And
both of
I
us
had
have
a coin.
You had one.
I got you.
Yes? So you have 2 coins?
Yeah.
So
So Monty and I.
if we gave him 1, we would have 5.
That's correct.
But what
But
could you
like I
do?
say, it's not a matter of how many we have.
But,
It is what
It's
does
do
it.
we want him to have it?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem in league with the Aegis, but very interested in the Aegis. And he's not helping them directly. So I think we are kind of in the same place. And that it's better for him to have it and us going.
Right?
And
It's. I mean, it's
not.
It's easy. We get everybody out of here. We get all our stuff back, and we live to fight another day. The chances of us coming up against this particular whatever it is, it's gonna come up whether we give him this coin or not. So either we fight him now when we're underprepared, or we fight him later when we're slightly more prepared. I mean, if it comes to that, I mean, I kind of look back. I'm like, not the word, and then go back.
Yeah. Murmur says like.
That's right, we still murmur with that.
Yeah. Murmur says.
And Ira.
It's just like, I must warn you, dealing with creatures like him is dangerous. You do not know what you'd be opening yourself up to.
I know, that's what I'm terrified about.
Opening, like, dealing with, or
You also don't know whether he's tampered with that talisman or not.
That's true.
We don't even know that he's telling the truth, that he'll let us go free.
He seems
I don't-
trustworthy. Look back into the.
Yeah. He says, I will leave this decision to all of you, but I may have a way for us to escape without turning anything over to him, risky though it may be.
Other than the Morning Star I already gave him.
Yeah.
You're already free.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not leaving without you guys. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to put my hand on Murmur's shoulder like we did in the dream, so that he could the link,
Yeah.
so that he can communicate to me without
Speaking.
because I don't have a message.
Yeah.
Telepathic link.
All right.
What?
Did you have something to say to him, or?
What's the alternative here?
It's uncertain whether it would work, and it would likely be extremely dangerous. However, there is a possibility that I could temporarily banish him from this plane, and we could run. He'd be back quickly, and I'm certain he'd send his forces after us. However, I could get us out of here at no cost. We may not be able to recover the rest of your supplies in time, depending upon where they're kept. However, I think it a poor idea to give him anything he wants, regardless of what it might be.
Okay.
Could I do a intelligence check or a history check?
Thank you, Murmur.
Do a what check?
Like a history check to see if I remember like any like stories about like like never trust them, kind of like a double thing, like even if you make the deal like
Yeah, you can make a like, let's call it an Arcana check, I think, for.
And after I get
What's that?
13.
Okay, I'll tell you in a second. What were you?
Oh, I was gonna say after Murmur tells me that, I'm gonna kind of catch Mouse's eye and kind of give her the "we need a message" eyeballs, and I say, so Murmur could banish this guy and get us out, and he thinks it's a bad idea to give him anything he wants, but we wouldn't get our double stuff.
I think I'm okay with that.
So you can pass
So yeah, Nasa's gonna
Give the
start
eyes to
and try to get a consensus. Like the shortened version. What do you think? I need to know now.
Yeah.
Right. 2 blinks for yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 blinks for no.
Pass out if it's no.
Or whatever.
Yeah. And Jasu, you have a recollection of stories about beholders. You know that all of them are pretty seriously insane. They're very paranoid, but they're not stupid. They don't tend to deal with anything unless they're going to get the better end of it for the most part. And so you would suspect that he's like, as completely mad as he might be, he is not acting without an intent here.
Could I chime in something really quick? To Gathalarus? Lord Gathalarus, so that we have the assurance of our freedoms upon giving you the coin, would it be all right to have us, with our gear, travel towards the exit with your army so that we can escape? And when we have a clear path of, freedom, we can give you the force of the coins, and we can also skip ways, so we can have our freedom assured.
Kind of examines you. Make a deception check.
Roll
Good
good.
question. Oh, type it in the chat.
What's that?
Oh, I'm asking you a question in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Hey. Texting you the number of my deception.
Okay. Yeah, he
2.
yeah, he stares at you for a long moment, and just when you are beginning to suspect that he is not believing you, he says, "Fine, I suppose that would be a good show of goodwill between us." And he shouts out something, and a few moments later, some kobolds come in carrying your things.
Woohoo!
And Gethalorus and the kobolds begin to lead you out towards the exits.
While we're walking, I want to ask Gathalarus questions like, "How'd you get down here? What's your story?" type of thing. Like, how did you become the Lord of Seven Eyes? And just try and talk up the conversation so it's a little less awkward silence.
Yeah. He's not very willing to give you any straight answers. Like, he mostly just kind of avoids the questions, and seems to always be keeping a couple of eyes on you warily through the whole thing.
Sure, I get that. Okay.
So
after about 5 minutes of winding passageways, you are nearing an exit, and he orders his kobolds to line up in your path. And this is, Fine. Here we are. Your payment now, and then my kobolds will disperse and allow you to pass.
So while we were walking, could I kind of like get Moss's attention?
Yeah.
And
So there's a wall of kobolds in front of us, right?
So
Yes.
so I'll tell him tell Murmur when we stop, if he's gonna banish the dragon, that's the time to do it. If not, we're gonna give him the coin.
Yeah.
Holy heck! Holy heck!
I'm gonna relay that.
Ah!
All right. You relay the information, and yeah. And
Well, if we're gonna
Murmur.
bash him anyways, we might as well be close to an exit. Just saying.
That was
Brilliant.
Genius.
Yep, absolutely.
How big
Wait,
is our
could you
Aegis
give
coin?
us something that like looks like a coin?
Well, we do have prestidigitation, but that only makes it first.
How big is our Aegis coin?
The Aegis coins are all around this like silver dollar sized. So
Does
Okay.
he know what they look like?
How big are like the financial coin in the universe? Is there one that's about the same size?
most of them are smaller than that.
Dang it. Okay.
Can we make one of them bigger? Does any of us know how to do that?
really want to try and pull a fast one on him.
He's watching you pretty closely, so you're gonna have a hard time like doing anything
Okay,
like
all I'm
that.
saying that if we were going to banish him anyways, it might be better to be next to an exit.
Yes.
No, yeah, that's we're with that plan.
Absolutely.
That plan we're solid with.
Yeah.
100%.
We're just trying to figure out how not to die and not give the coin at the same time.
So David, does
If he lives down here and we have to come back, maybe we shouldn't.
I guess that is the point. Is he leading us toward the Underdark city, or is he leading us back to the surface?
Just towards the exit into the Underdark in general.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's-
we're gonna have to come back this way.
well? There's probably another.
Not necessarily. This is just the one branch into where we're going. There could be
There-
multiple out of the city, I'm sure.
There are lots of connections from
He's
the.
not gonna find us later. We're gonna
I'm sure
create
he will.
Oh, that's
forever.
yeah, it's another story.
Yeah, he's gonna find us.
Yeah, you're not sure on that, but Murmur is going to, as you're walking towards the exits, he's going to once again come up to Zafine and kind of nod to indicate that he needs to say something
telepathy.
quietly.
Yeah, so
And,
just enough subtle physical contact to initiate the telepathic link.
Yeah. And he'll say to you in your mind, if you or any of your number have any way of shadowing our exit, perhaps we can get out of here quietly.
Just and I have darkness. And I think we both have silence too if we need to.
Darkness,
quiet about it.
invisibility, any manner of a way that we could conceal ourselves.
We have darkness and silence among our number at our disposal.
Okay.
So
Question.
He says he's most likely going to form up his men to block our path once we arrive. If we can have someone put down darkness or something similar to block the way, perhaps have... Uh-oh. Okay, we're still... Says perhaps... Says perhaps have Tamati be prepared to knock a hole in the line.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I
we
don't
can-
hear any of this, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be relayed to you.
yeah, we'll do the relay
Yeah, well, I figure this is all going on all over.
loops.
Yeah.
I think that is the plan. As I talk to Mouse to get this relayed, I think this is our best bet.
Question. Do we have like spells and stuff back from the dream? I mean,
Because we leveled up.
Yeah, I think you,
Like between the level up and the rest.
because I think we slept.
yeah, I think you
I
do.
just don't know that I marked it.
Yeah, I think you should, though.
I just wanted to check before I like open up these spell slots again.
Yeah.
So I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely darkness. Maybe I don't know if we'd need to, but
And he also says, just like, if the banishment fails, be prepared to run even faster than we're planning to. Anyway. So.
Okay, so just do if you cast darkness, I can cast silence, and we can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we have enough time, I can try and maybe give one or. I can give.
I don't think we'll have enough
I
time.
can give up to 2 people double sight afterwards, but or we can just run straight.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have enough time. He's watching us this entire time, so.
yeah.
I have
So
dimension door, but I can only take one person.
Well, that's one less person to worry about.
right.
I would say either take Mouse or Tamati or the other month lady because Sabina says.
Well,
Yeah, I can run.
Yeah, well,
Mouse
she
might
has
grab
context.
onto somebody who's like, he can't see.
Oh right. Just hang on, and
Hang
we'll
on to
just
me
be the
and
motor.
just run.
Woo!
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
fast can
Don't do
our
Tamati.
new monk friend go? And how fast can Murmur go?
Mm.
Ira in particular is very fast. Murmur has about standard speed, if I remember correctly.
I could
so-
grab Murmur then.
Murmur would
If
be
Mouse
good.
is gonna grab somebody and float along with them, then I can grab Murmur and Dimension Door.
It'll work.
So are none of us going to be able to
I
see
might not
in
be able
dark?
to cast Silence though if I'm planning on using Dimension Door, because they're.
Are we
both-
just going to cast these a bubble on the kobolds in front of us and like just charge through? And Tamati's just going to go woo!
That's the plan. Just
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
so
I think that's a solid plan.
I'm dropping silence. Grin's doing. I'm doing darkness.
Darkness.
He's doing silence, right?
Am I casting Silence if I need to use Dimension Door? Because they're both in action.
Yeah, you'd only be able to do one.
Maybe just Dimension Door, because the sound might act in our advantage, like all of the chaos. It probably won't be a big deal. We're gonna know that we're running. We're gonna know that things are happening.
Okay, so just Dimension Door.
Does anyone
Yeah.
have like Bane or something? Like,
A what?
what's the one that saving throws?
Yeah, it's Bane minus D4.
Bane? What level is that? I don't
It's a
think I
level
have
one
that.
spell.
I also don't know that I picked
I have it.
a new spell.
Do I have it prepared?
Well,
That's the
yeah.
question.
Guys, what am I doing?
Monty can coordinate with Murmur. Cast Bane on his wisdom
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is gonna be kind of a all or nothing
Yeah.
shot and then run for our lives.
All right, so you make your way to the exit. Gathalorus has his kobolds lined up, and
And just will make the motion of like walk back.
okay, and Murmur kind of just locks eyes with Tamati and Zafine in turn, and like just nods.
I make sure I'm standing like close to Murmur.
Okay. He nods, and then he just swiftly raises up a hand in the direction of Gathalorus, mutters a few words, and there's a flash of energy.
But I have enough time to cast Bane.
I'll cast darkness.
Okay.
I do have Bane,
And
so.
Cool.
you see just the moment of a flash of anger on Gathalorus's face before he blinks out of existence. And with that, Murmur just shouts, "We have 1 minute!" And
Okay, so
Okay, I'm
what,
gonna grab Murmur and I'm gonna Dimension Door as far as I can see, like a safe place.
as I'm running, I'm going the
Make a
next
roll,
moment
Tamati!
I'll cast double slack on Tamati.
Perfect.
okay.
Mouse is gonna turn herself into a hole. and grab onto Jasimu.
Okay.
And I really want to do this, but at the same time, it's probably a bad idea. So everybody's like hoofing in Dimension Door and everything else. I'm gonna
staying
pull out
behind you
my
'cause you gotta make the
fire
hole.
heart. I'm gonna pull out my fire heart sawdust and take a pinch, or take a. Well, it says you take out. I'm just gonna grab like a little bit of a handful and just toss it at the kobolds.
Okay.
So, according to this, soon as an ounce can be thrown into the air as a bonus action, upon doing so, roll a d10. This is gonna be really bad if it doesn't.
Are we gonna have to run through this?
Yep. On a 1, we all make dex saves. Otherwise, we inhale the sawdust, become unable to breathe. On 2 through
I'm not
9,
breathing.
the sawdust ignites. On a 10, it becomes a fire elemental. I'm really hoping for the fire elemental because this fire elemental is friendly to you and your companions and will obey verbal commands for up to 10 minutes. Ah, it's an 8. Okay, well that's fine. Okay, so sawdust ignites in the air and is treated as a fireball spell centered on me. Oh crap! I was hoping to throw it further away than that.
Mohawk back in the room.
Yeah.
I may have had the mohawk, but I didn't have the feather because I knew that was gone. I can rebuild the rest of the mohawk, but I don't have the feather fire.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are just hoofing it and gonna hopefully make a dex save on this.
Yeah.
I was staying behind you because you were supposed
That's
to make
fine.
a hole.
I'm making a hole, a really big one.
I picked up that evasion.
Nobody die. I'm not there anymore.
Yeah. So, as you do this, you're going to probably take some damage one way or another.
More than likely.
You'll have to
Yeah.
make a save for that.
Yep.
Natural
Natural 20! First roll!
Yeah.
Nice!
Nice.
With the
So-
skull splitter dice again.
Yeah, half damage for you then. That'll be.
because I did.
Okay, and Char, you said you took evasion?
I did. I took monk, so I took evasion.
So you've got evasion,
But-
Jasu's got evasion, and Mouse has
Mouse
evasion.
has got evasion.
And
I'm not there,
You're not even
and,
there, so
Murmur's not there.
Yeah.
So
this could work out fine.
I
Yeah.
only rolled a 4
What
though.
about Mira?
Ah! Yeah, that's not.
No, that's a 12
dexterity. 12.
total. Yes, do my dex save.
Let's see what it.
12.
So it says DC Constitution 15 but that's for on a 1. It doesn't say. I guess it would still be the DC 15.
Yeah,
Even if it's
so
a fireball.
that's a fail.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Being blown up. One
All right.
charge.
So, anyone who takes half damage there takes 12 damage. It's 25 damage for anyone who takes
It's not
full.
terrible. It's not terrible.
What's the
Okay.
DC?
Not terrible. Not terrible.
15.
Just 15. The same as to avoid inhaling it. If you,
Check am I doing?
You said 12 damage.
And I am not breathing any of that.
12 damage for half.
Okay, 25 for full.
2, 3.
So, just Tamati, you at least can see through the magical darkness, correct? You've got.
Yeah.
So,
DC cast.
so as you do this, as your vision comes back in after the fading of the fireball, you see just the entire line in the center of kobolds have just turned to ash. And
Made a hole!
Double dash.
Dash.
I just imagine like wearing night vision goggles and then a fireball going off, ooh, and then
Hey,
Oh!
David,
it's clear.
yes,
where's the monk?
Clear.
Is she lost or is she just running straight?
she's just running
Right,
straight
did she-
through the.
When I get another chance, I want to give double sight to her and then I'll hop on the keypad.
Okay.
And then
How far did Murmur and I make it?
You made it. I'm not like you were able to go most of the distance of your afforded to you by Dimension Door.
Okay,
and then
How far can you go with that?
500 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, Dimension Door is awesome.
Dang.
He's
Yo.
dope.
Yeah.
double
Yeah.
dashing. I can only go
Well, actually,
170.
we'll just grab. Never mind about the double set. We'll just grab one.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Yeah. 170 a turn.
Yeah.
Does Ira have blind sight or anything like that?
Jisu gave her devil sight, so she's
Oh,
able
okay,
to.
perfect.
No,
Yeah.
I think he.
Well, no, I'll do it. I always do it.
Okay, I was gonna say either way, I can reach around and grab her and help drag her along too.
If
so-
you can do that,
yeah.
that'd be great, so I can have some.
Yeah, I'll just like grab her
Yeah.
arm, whip her up around my back, and just like one arm carry her and just take off.
Okay.
I'm just kind of using my blind sight to make sure I don't run into any walls or things. So
Yeah, you can hear my footsteps pretty well. So go,
Yeah.
go, 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 go.
And,
behind me, because they're fading, I'm going.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And while we're running, I'm saying, I think my plan worked.
Don't stop! Keep running!
and once you've made it a little ways, Murmur waits for the rest of you to catch up, pulls from his quiver a arrow that is painted entirely bright red, and he says, "This was very expensive. I hope this works." And
What's he gonna do?
He's gonna launch an explosive arrow.
he's going to wait for all of you to get past, and then he raises his crossbow with the red arrow in it to the ceiling.
Could I, while we're running, can I reach into the bag of holding and check out the 2 bags of gunpowder that somebody has left?
Sure.
Or we also have those fancy pink grenades we found. And we now have like 8 of them, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna do that. Would Jisu be able to kind of tell it's like, ooh, something exploding?
And we have
Yeah, that's the impression you get.
Okay. I'll check out the explosion.
keep running.
He sees you throw them in the air, and he adjusts the trajectory so he fires the arrow directly at them. And let's see.
We're still sprinting.
I'm still, I'm
Yeah.
still hoofing it.
Yeah, we're just running.
You see a bunch of kobolds beginning to follow you, and then as the red arrow streaks out with a beam of light into the bags of gunpowder, there's a huge explosion. All of you are knocked forward about 50 feet by the blast. And in fact, you probably take some damage just from the sheer force of the blow, but
I'm instinctively like wrapping myself around Loki.
yeah. You all take like 10 hit points of damage from getting blown forward by the blast, and things just start collapsing, and Murmur starts booking it, and you all just.
You okay, little buddy? Okay. I'll like merge with it when we go.
He better make
That
a
way I'm a little
concentration check.
Hey, you could even perch on my shoulder, because how fast can
Okay, so
Loki go? I mean,
yeah, Murmur, despite the blast, manages to maintain
Like
his
10 seconds.
concentration on banishment a
good.
little longer,
Oh, good.
and
Could have been really bad.
and things like the entire passageway is just collapsing. Everybody make an athletics check just to run from it at top speed.
An
Oh,
athletics
heck.
or an athletics or acrobatics.
Dodging rocks.
I think you could probably make an excuse for acrobatics.
Thank you.
yes.
Wait.
I'm like, what's
So
the
if
problem?
Yeah.
oh gosh. If I merge with Loki and I'm sitting on Zafine's shoulder, do I have to make the check?
No, just whoever's running.
Yeah.
24.
So
19 for Jisu.
Okay.
17 for
rocks.
Zaphine.
Yeah.
24.
Nice.
17 make it.
Yes.
It's getting closer.
Yeah. So you're just running for a good 30 seconds. At which point there's a bit of a flash around Murmur, and he says, "I hope this holds because our friend's back." And but you've just been charging at full speed down this collapsing passageway. and you all manage to dive forward down a cliffside. It's not a far enough drop that you take any serious damage. You're all good, but you
Slow fall. Yeah.
and
Barrel roll.
there's a continuing rumble in the distance, and you're not sure if things are still collapsing somewhere back there, but it begins to quiet down, and as you all are catching your
I
breath.
am not comforted.
Yeah. As you're all catching your breath, Murmur says, "We should likely keep moving.
Yes.
That disintegration ray will carve a path through pretty quickly."
Yeah.
It's like, the only thing we can hope is that as he disintegrates things, they will keep collapsing and it'll be slow progress.
Let's not stop.
Yeah.
It's open in front. Let's go.
The question now is which direction we're going.
Does anyone have any like divine questioning they can do?
Yeah.
Let me check my spells. I have
I,
divine sense to the metal. No, I don't have any of that crap. Come on. What the heck?
I have locate creature and I have commune.
I have speak with animals.
Did you have like a thing that could tell you like where creature was within a certain
Well, I have the
Yeah, I have
Geomancer's
locate
glyph.
creature.
Oh, yeah, for creatures and stuff. So you can just keep it up
I
on
could
Cathalorus.
I could look for drow.
Well,
That-
I'm right behind you.
Why?
You look for
Let's see. Commune gives you up to 3 questions, but they're yes or no
Three
questions.
Yes or no questions to the Raven Queen.
Murmur kind of looks around and he says, from where we are, we could travel north to Anzanet. The Veskrin estate is that way, which is where Jesu's family is. So we could travel west towards Heliath or south to Greybox Rest. Those are the nearest settlements.
What's regards?
It says Anzanet is largely drow controlled. Greyvox Rest is controlled by the Svirfneblin deep gnomes. And looking for my notes. Let's see, where is the... It says, and Heliath is one of the few places where the Drow and the Duergar intermingle to any great degree.
Where's that?
Hell yes.
Heliath to the west.
Would that be a good place for a mixed race company to lie low for a bit? Or?
Depends. Like it.
I mean, Drow and Duergar are both pretty notorious for being xenophobic or whatever it is. Stay close to what they are. I don't know much about deep gnomes as far as...
Might be good if I were.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too. If we can avoid your sister as much as possible. We're all kind of a little nervous.
Ready for that yet. If I look exactly like, maybe we might want to.
If we choose to travel to Anzanet, it would likely be best for us to travel around the Veskrin estate. It's not directly in the path.
Yeah.
But, it says Anzanet's about 60 miles, Heliath about 50, around 80 to Greyvox Rest. I would have liked to have gotten more information about where your slaver has traveled before we reached this point, but
Yeah.
I doubt that we could have negotiated anything like that out of Gethalorus without offering him more.
Yeah. My guess is he probably went to Antoinette. Because if he's doing more dealing with the Drow down here than anything, that's what it sounds like anyway. But at the same time, I don't know.
Right there.
Both the Durgar and the Drow employ slaves. They, however, don't trust one another's sources. If Kulis is known to sell to the Drow, it's unlikely that he would do business with the Durgar as well.
Interesting. So probably Anzanet is a good lead.
More than likely. Like I say, I don't know enough about deep gnomes. That's probably our safest bet. If I had to guess.
We're not here to be safe, unfortunately.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, if we wanted to,
Job.
if we want to get out, then that's probably our safest bet. If we want to keep going with our current plan, it's yeah.
So you're saying that's an eject option.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's our option to get out.
Oh.
But as I said, I don't know much about deep gnomes and how much they are, against people.
Well,
I'll admit a personal preference to not heading to Heliath from this direction. If I'm going to travel to Heliath, I prefer to sail there on the Sea of Glass or approach from a different direction. Coming from the east towards Heliath, you'd have to pass through the Madark.
Sounds awesome. Let's do it.
Have I done any research on these places that he's talking about?
I kind of doubt you would have. The Underdark and the surface world are so disconnected from one another that it's unlikely that you would have.
With 5-year-old Jesu.
Mine is 12. Especially in his current mental state.
But yeah, he says the Madark is a perhaps best described as a fungal forest. There's some kind of living intelligent mushroom. It's believed to all be one creature.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Avatar.
Ticket Lloyd.
it says it
The
says not many people remember the story. Some older drow that I've spoken to have told tales that miners in Heliath broke through stone into a cavity in it, and it grew out of that cavity. It ate about half of the city, completely engulfed it. And at some point it stopped growing. No one's sure why. Definitely not dead, though. Some people believe that the Madark is intelligent. Most people think of that as superstition, though. Nothing like that north towards Anzanet, though.
Maybe to
The Veskran Estate may have patrols. They may be watching. It is part of their territory. They're some of the most prominent nobles of the Anzanet region.
Well, so we came down here to try and hinder the Aegis. That's the reason we're here. And that's if we have to stay on course to derail the Aegis. Do we think that bringing down the coolest operation is the best way to do that? So that we take away a
supply line.
Source, yeah, a supply line of people to keep doing it, and to be so entrenched in all of the ideas of the Aegis, so that they will be so deeply set that they wouldn't. The Aegis seems really good at keeping them in once they're in, but from birth, nigh on irreversible.
Murmur says, if Cathalorus is to be believed, then there is reason to suspect that Koulis's links to the Aegis may be purely business and that he may have his own intentions.
It's true.
He
That
is a
information that
slaver.
we didn't have before.
I'm not inclined to assume that those intentions are good.
Yeah, it's primarily money for him, I'm sure.
Hmm.
And you sell to the highest bidder, and if the one bidding is the Aegis, then that's who you sell to.
So, this is an interesting thought because going after Koulis is almost like trying to hack at branches of a tree, where it may not be where the root of the Aegis's attentions and actions are being focused, but just it might be a more minor part of their progress than maybe we've made it out to be. It's hard to say. It's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's also possible that some branches may need to be hacked through to reach the trunk.
Yeah,
This is
more of
also
attrition on that. Yeah. Drag him down.
Of the options available to us, Greyvox Rest is likely to be the most friendly to us. However, it is also the least likely to be a location that Koulis would have traveled.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking too. So Heliath, as cool as it sounds, probably out. So it's either north or south. North towards potentially Oswald Koulis in the Antoinette, or south toward the ejector seat.
Which way would help us get like potential information about where Frederick?
If we go
Frederick
Probably
was
out.
taken by the Aegis, so most likely
Oh,
whichever direction
potentially.
gets you closer to the Aegis.
If we head north, that's closer to Oromir.
Yeah, but remember
He's
they were
not
trying
out
to
there.
bring him down to the Underdark.
Yeah, but it could be just an easy pipeline to
road.
get him somewhere. Yeah.
But one connection we have to figure out where he is.
Yeah. At the same time, if they're trying to travel somewhere and they can just pop in and out no matter where they are,
They teleported away. So.
yeah.
There's a reason they're trying to bring him down to the Underdark.
So do we want to go to Antoinette? It's probably going to be our best bet for answers.
I do still feel like that's the still do feel drawn to Ensnet.
I don't want to go, but
Tracking down
Miss the
Koulis.
sun.
that's kind of like if that's kind of the reason we came down, and if we didn't do that, we might as well have not just come down at all.
It's true. All right, let's head toward Antoinette.
The only question is, do we want to go there directly, or do we want to see if we can get some stuff on Local? Because we did just tell a Beholder Dragon our plans and his connections. So it might be best to expediently go there and then maybe we can go to the other place afterwards to hide, but like
Yeah. Let's go for Antoinette first. See what answers we can get. There's either going to be a mad dash toward Greyvox Rest, or there's going to be another outlet from Antoinette as far as getting back to the surface. But like I said, if we're coming down to prune the branches of the Aegis, that's going to be our best bet. If we're going for answers for Frederick, probably going to be our best bet.
I mean, even if it's not directly, like we're
Yeah.
so not like,
It's a strong lead on the Aegis.
Murmur says, if we go to Antoinette, the most likely next stops from there, if we're to travel further, would be hollow points further to the north, over the Sea of Glass, or Utekt to the east. Can't say I'd exactly recommend it. However, Utekt and the Merciful End would certainly be more welcoming than the Drow, for whatever that's worth.
it's all a point of
What's at Urtek? Utrecht.
Utrecht was once a dwarven city. Of all the surface races, mountain dwarves are the most likely to have delved this deep to settle. But it was abandoned by its founders a couple of 100 years ago, perhaps. No one's sure what happened, but turned up empty. It's currently occupied by the Merciful End. They're a mercenary company. I've had some dealings with their leader, Elon Oakforest. He's an interesting fellow.
What was the other?
They
thing?
have a number of surface dwellers amongst their number. They would perhaps be more
Inclined.
sympathetic than many of the peoples of the Underdark towards your plight.
Yeah.
However, they are still a mercenary company, and if someone has purchased their allegiance, then...
Hopefully it isn't the Aegis. Or Gathalrus.
Gathalrus... I think Gathalrus would be too paranoid to trust mercenaries.
More than likely.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Gathalrus's reach also is limited. He has the power to reach further if he wished, but he... At least for as long as I was a prisoner there, which was several months, he had little interaction with the rest of the world outside of information gathering and trade in slaves.
So what's at Hollow Points?
Hollow Points is a drow city. It's actually suspended over the Sea of Glass. It's carved into a series of colossal stalactites.
Oh, jeez.
It's a fairly large settlement. And also, given that it's drow territory, is another opportunity for coolists to trade.
That is true.
I look over at Loki and Rin because I figured you're still merged with Loki. I'm like, did you want to pop out and give your insight? You've been kind of quiet the last couple minutes.
Full party. Kind of wiggle my shoulder. Come on.
I actually have missed a lot of the conversation. So we're still trying to decide where to go, yeah?
We're kind of
We're leaning toward Ansonet.
deciding which way we want to go to Enzinet.
I figure Ansonet
Okay.
is
Well-
probably the most dangerous, but it will give us the most answer. Gruvok's Rest is probably the safest, but will get us nowhere, except for out. And then Heliath has the Madark Fungus City, which could trip us out and we'd be lost forever.
Or eat us.
Yeah, or eat us. Yeah, it'd be death by shrooms. Anyway, and then it's just, if we're going to Ansonet, then there's a couple other ways out from there that we could possibly go, but they're, drow
Just,
versus mercenaries.
Give you a rough idea of the lay of the land. This has absolutely nothing but names, but it just tells you kind of where things are.
No, cool.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Oh man, that wasn't close. Gruvok's Rest? Yeah, I put him to rest. Ha ha ha!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gravox in this
I know.
case, actually.
I've been saying that in my head the entire time. I'm like, had to put it out there. So yeah, that's kind of. I'm like everybody's saying, if we're going for answers, Ansonet's the way to go.
Yeah,
As much as I hate to go
That's
deeper into the
probably-
Underdark, just because
that's probably my opinion is going to Anzanet.
All right, sounds like we have a
So-
awkward.
Mercenaries or drow?
I lean toward mercenaries, but that's because that's kind of my ilk. That's kind of what I did. Plus, it was primarily a dwarven city, and so the lore of that would be awesome too.
Yeah.
Just me.
if they're mercenaries,
You may find Coolis in Anzanet. You're not sure. If you don't, you could probably get information from there about if he's been through there recently, which would also give you a.
but with mercenaries, it's a lot easier to just buy information.
Yes, buy information and buy our way out of a lot of situations that could be potentially hazardous to our health.
Blow all our doubled money trying to pay.
I'm so excited we got all our stuff back. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
My
We have double party funds now, you guys.
Huh?
We
We
just
have
automatically
party funds
double.
now.
Yeah, we got double.
Yeah.
I now have 28 gold.
I almost have 6,000 gold.
I blew a lot of gold before I came down here. I called dibs on the other bag of holding.
Yeah, I feel like Now's gonna grab both, but like before we settle down, she'd probably like
Mouse.
probably give it to you and be like, "Don't make me change my mind."
Quick, put it back on.
No.
Some of the reality of some of those things may or may not be entirely stable.
Sure.
You may not have double everything forever, but it's
Granted, yeah.
in part just for pure balance purposes. Like,
I replaced the dream amulet with the real one.
Nice.
okay.
Oh, I did have a question on the weapons. In the dream, would the weapons have been fully repaired?
Which weapons?
Like the ones that got the black slime on them? So like the Fire Heartfell armor?
No.
No? Okay.
No, those were not.
Because you would have imagined it being yours just in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that, I've wanted to ask this for like 6 months now. Could I try and do mending and see if that works to repair one of the siege malls? Because it's probably a stretch as far as like the use of mending specifically. But it says repairs a single break or tear in an object, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, torn cloak, leaking wineskin. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it. If not,
Were the siege malls damaged, or like was the siege mall damaged?
it was because of the black pudding. It was. I'm pretty sure it was. I think the
I
siege
felt
mall.
like that was a different weapon, but maybe I'm wrong.
And I had the
don't-
Fireheart Felled Axe was also one of them that did. Because it was anything that was sitting on my back.
He was just on his back, yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Fireheart Felt Great Axe, the Siege Maul.
I'd say for a siege mall, as long as there's anything left of it, you probably could use mending on it for this purpose, especially because the enchantment on that is not as strong as like an attuned weapon would be.
Perfect. Okay.
And so,
Awesome.
Yay! Siege Ball's back.
Yay.
I can take off that modification.
so
That's nice.
it sounds like you've agreed that Anzanet is the direction to go.
Yeah, I think so.
So you,
I think so. We're just deciding which one to go there.
yeah.
Which way.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be the way. to
in
go.
Anzanet, we either go directly to the Drow or we stop at the mercenaries. Yeah.
The mercenaries
Well,
are
they're-
considerably
Mercenaries are
further
after,
on from.
yeah. So on our
The
on
merc-
our map, it's the top right.
That's
Yeah.
the like.
The mercenaries are stationed at Utakt, so.
Oh.
Hey, I actually spelled that one right. No, I didn't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Dang it, I was so close.
Yeah.
I got a CK instead.
So
Close though.
the map looks like Anzanet is before Hollow Points in
Yeah.
Tech. Oh, okay. So they would be secondary local.
Yeah, so as soon as you get to Anzanet, then
Oh,
that's our
okay.
next 2 options, basically.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, we can decide that later on.
Yeah.
Anzanet on.
Yeah, Anzanet's the way to go. Working my way.
So
down.
you-
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So a moderate pace. Not
Yeah.
fast because I don't want to freaking be blindsided all the time. This is driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Murmur he takes the lead and begins leading you to the north along the
Because he
way
seems
to.
very familiar with the Underdark.
Yeah,
He's been down here for a while, I think.
he's spent quite a lot of time down here. So.
Is it his favored terrain?
I'm not actually sure if he's ever gotten high enough in his ranger levels to have a favored terrain. I'd have to look at his.
I thought favored terrain was level 1.
Maybe it is. It's been a while since I built his character sheet, so I'm.
It's been a while. Sorry, I've been watching Critical Role too much.
Yeah. So let's see. He might have favored terrain. I think he has a few levels in Ranger, so I would assume he does, but I don't remember what it is. What is his favored terrain?
While we're going, I want to attune to that new amulet.
Okay. Oh no, you didn't get the amulet.
Oh, I thought he gave it to me. Dang it!
No, he was offering it to you, but
We sweetened the deal with our stuff.
yeah, it was in return for the coin, though. As like part of the deal was that he would give you the amulet.
Oh, darn, I thought
Nuts.
he had given it to you.
I know, right? That's what I
No,
thought too. I'm like, haha, I got the amulet, and then we'll give you the coin as soon as we get out.
Yeah, he was showing it to you, but wasn't planning on actually handing it over until.
Dang it. It's okay. It's probably my control or something.
Yeah.
You get more wisdom from me.
Now you're crazy.
Now you take warlock levels. No!
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Eldritch Blast!
Not sure about favored terrain, but Murmur's favored enemy is Fae.
Nice.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
I'm trying to remember if he. I feel like he should have favored terrain, but it doesn't show up on his sheet anywhere, so. Anyway.
I just realized I had those bottles of Black Dram in the bag of holding. We now have 6 of them. I don't tell anybody that. I just keep that to myself.
Yeah. Alright, so you begin
Actually,
traveling.
that means I have 2 bottles. No, I have 6 bottles
Yeah.
on my person.
What? How do you have 6 bottles on you? I thought they only gave us 3 each. Or did they give us 6 each? In that case, we have 12.
You travel through the better part of what you assume to be a day, and you do not encounter anything dangerous this first day. You make camp somewhere. Murmur kind of leads you a little ways off the path into a crack in the stone that narrows down, and then it opens up a little bit back into a small, defensible area that only has one entrance. And you make camp there. He kind of covers over the entrance with some debris from nearby so that it's not obvious that there are people hiding here.
Man, we should do smart stuff.
Right?
Alright.
Let's lie down right here. Okay.
Okay. We're only right next to the water. That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Does this mean I have 4 longbows on me?
Yep.
Because I have 2 regular longbows and 2 iris bows.
Yeah.
Nice. Like I said, the primary for me, like, of getting all the double stuff, I was like, yes, I can sell half this crap and not feel bad about it.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
like, yes,
Or just
party
keep it like
funds. We can build up the Fireheart Fortress, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay. Anyway,
So you make camp here.
you sell it.
And yeah, as you drift off to sleep, Tamati, you awaken into a dream. You get the sense of like waking up, even though you kind of are conscious of the fact that you're still asleep. But you wake up, and where everyone else's beds are, there are only what appear to be stone coffins, just kind of resting nearby. And each of the coffins seems almost to be breathing. And sitting across the fire from you you see the figure of an old man who is very familiar to you.
Oh dear.
And from a sack at his feet, he reaches in, pulls out a glass bottle of something, and rolls it over to you across the ground.
Pick it up, look at it.
Have a drink, my son.
You got it.
This is your intervention.
Please no. Please no.
Yeah. But he leans forward a little more into the fire. You recognize that this is the face of Foway.
Yeah.
He says, you were offered something. And although you were tempted, you chose the wiser path, the safer path. Perhaps you are beginning to awaken to the wisdom that I have seen the potential within you for.
I certainly hope so.
The path you and your companions are walking is a dangerous one, which, of course, you're used to.
Yeah.
You've lived your life on dangerous roads.
Yeah.
Somehow I doubt you'd be comfortable in any that weren't dangerous.
Some days I'd like to try.
But it seems to me that you are learning to value restraint in a way that perhaps you wouldn't have in your younger years.
Well, it's easy when you have people to care about to choose the path of less aggression, I guess.
That's wisdom. How does it feel?
Really weird. I'm getting used to it.
The false wisdom that you were offered with that amulet would have opened a door in your mind for that creature to work his way in.
I knew it.
A sort of back door through
all
which...
over again,
Yeah.
dang it!
A sort of back door through which he could have influenced you. Nothing so direct as what Zarafal has done to your friend Jesu, but he'd have been able to reach you. He'd have been able to push you subtly in certain directions. Would have been very dangerous for you and for those you care about.
Yeah. Oh, man. That could have been really bad.
But in spite of the temptation, you listened to your friends and you turned it down. In spite of the promise of power. And you knew it would have made things easier for you. You knew it would have advanced your path along the road that I have given you as my servant. Would have made it easier for you to grasp the magics that I can grant to you.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. But not at that cost.
Wisdom again. You're wiser than anyone gives you credit for, Tamati.
I try not to show it.
Well, and he stands up from the fire. He says, This may be somewhat noticeable, but the tainted power that was offered to you, I'll do you one better, shall I? And he comes over and lays a hand on top of your head, and there's a flash of bright energy, and there is a burst of pain that is instant and very uncomfortable, but it passes quickly. And as you touch the top of your head after he takes his hand away, you feel some faint ridges. Seemingly from nowhere, he produces a mirror for you to see and angles it, holds it up so that you can see the new tattoo on top of your head. And you can determine exactly what the tattoo looks like on your own. I'll give you that.
Sweet.
Like it's sort of, but it's a symbol of wisdom, for like a cultural symbol of wisdom that is one that is revered by the Ruakoha tribe. And your wisdom score is now 22.
What?
He says, the seed was already within you, son, but someone had to water it, or alcohol it, perhaps.
Oh. My wisdom score is 22?
And so just for your information, the talisman, which would have also come with some negative effects, would have bumped your wisdom to 19 while you were attuned to it.
Oh my goodness.
This, however, gives you 22 permanently. It doesn't use up an attunement slot.
Holy cow.
And
No,
What was it
dragons
before?
in your brain.
It was 13.
Yeah.
13, yeah.
yeah,
I go from a plus
that's a
1 to a
big
plus
upgrade.
3.
It's a big upgrade.
It's freaking massive.
Question.
That'll
Yes.
help so much with the
Yeah.
river form.
Yes.
Do I have a second tome of leadership?
You have a second charging tome of leadership that will be ready in 100-ish years, because the last
Okay.
one was used.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Do that in the world.
Yeah. But,
Campaign 7 confirmed.
yeah.
Campaign what?
7.
Campaign 7.
But, Fowey goes back over across the fire and sits back down. And, he says, without looking at you, this boon will grant you greater strength, but there is still growth that will need to be done. Perhaps as you walk the path further, you will be able to grow strong enough within my service that you may be able to restore your sister's memory.
It's amazing.
This will help you see, and it will give you great power, but
Thank you.
you were already growing to it. I only hastened it.
Thank you.
Be careful. The road's only going to get more dangerous.
That's what I'm afraid of. one of the reasons I wanted to go to Greyvox, because I know it's the hardest watching anybody. I mean, we've had pretty much all of us die at least once so far, and it's the hardest thing to go through. But we need answers. So. Whew.
Just be prepared for the fact that the things that you will face are going to make that creature, the beholder dragon, look like nothing at all, really. It's...
Oh, goodness.
I understand that you have been in communication with Death as of late.
Yeah. It's been interesting, to say the least.
The gods act out of concert. We are ill able to communicate with one another, and many do not trust one another enough, even when we are able to open those lines. However, there are a faction among us who support what Death is attempting to do. And Athsur must be stopped. The power that he would gain if he succeeds would not only wipe all of us out, it would turn him into something like a dark reflection of the Proto-Sanct itself. And the world that he would make is not one that we would wish to be a part of.
Yeah.
The advantages we can give you, you're going to need.
Sounds like it.
Well, I should be going. You have some sleep you need to catch up on, especially after the sort of couple of days that you've had.
Yeah.
Man, it only has been.
Yeah. I did have a question, though. I mean, you said there were like 6 like stone coffins around. I'm gonna point to the coffins and to say it. Just curious. What does it mean?
What do you think it means?
Oh, so many things. Possible outcome. Something to avoid.
You struck some of the truth of it. Some other part of it, though you may not be directly in his service, in this conflict you are representing the interests of Death. Sounds grim, put that way.
Yeah.
But Diego is an interesting being. He's not what mortals would expect him to be, for certain.
Yeah.
Most beings of great power are not. Gods, representations of realities of the universe, such as Diego. One thing I think you will find universal is that gods may be divine, but they are not infallible. All of us have holes in our perception. All of us have weaknesses. Some of those are dangers. Some of those are openings to be exploited. Asur is intelligent. He is intensely intelligent. And the plans that he has put into place have many, many places where they can go wrong, and he still has fallbacks. That doesn't mean, however, that he's unstoppable. You can't plan your way out of anything. You can certainly try. He has. But even the most well-laid plan can collapse if pressure is placed in the right places. Now get some rest.
I will.
Good luck to you.
Thanks. I'm gonna need it.
And you blink and Fowey is gone. You go back to your bedroll and fall back to sleep almost immediately. Jasu has a similar experience. However, rather than being here in this place, Jasu, you sort of blink into consciousness in what seems to be a casino. and it's entirely empty except for a single table where a card game is being played. There are a few other sort of smoky, shadowy figures there. Incidentally, the same number of figures as you have companions in the party, as well as one for Ira and one for Murmur. And the croupier, you recognize the face of Jinso. And as he sees you, he kind of beckons you in. He says, "All right, come on. Place your bets."
Do they have money down, or
Anything of value you think that could be placed here?
is there? What's on the table?
It has the gleam of gold, but it has the same shadowy, insubstantial nature as your spirit companions here.
Okay. I'm kind of just smiling for that.
Okay. And with expert motions, he uses the baton that he has in one hand to just kind of bring it into the pot and sets everything up, begins dealing cards out to everyone. He says, "The most important thing for you to remember, my friend, is that first and foremost, beyond and within all things, the universe is a joke. An infinite swirl of directionless madness, blown further into chaos by the opposing whims of countless powerful beings who seek to mold it in their own image. On the rare occasions any of it makes any sense at all, it's pure happenstance. Sometimes it may seem like the joke of the universe is a cruel one at your expense, but you must find the power in that. Because to be the punchline is no small thing. The punchline is the most interesting and powerful part of any joke. It's unexpected. It's the part that makes the joke funny. It lives in shadow, never revealing itself until it creeps up and subverts things taken for granted." And he deals you a number of cards. And on the face of each of the cards, you see one of the various moments of trauma that have haunted you in your recent life, represented as if in a little mirror that as you tilt it around, you can see some depth in it, like it's a window through to that moment.
Oh, gosh.
So you're gonna need more than 52 cards for that one.
He says, "The pain that you feel is deep, and it is real. But if you are to be the servant that I wish you to be, you must accept it, master it, use it, find the humor in it. Sometimes all you can do to survive is laugh at your pain, at the sheer, vast, unfair scale and weight of what the universe has laid upon you, and in its infinite audacity expected you to be able to bear. One of the wisest things you mortals have ever said is that comedy is merely tragedy with the addition of time. It's an alchemical change, much like the synthesis of the poisons you brew. Nothing will empower you more than learning to speed the time necessary for that reaction to take place. You can't undo the tragedies. You can't escape them. Learn instead to see the absurdity in them. Put on a smile, no matter how grim it must be. Allow their weight to push you onward rather than down. And as you, almost by instinct, play a hand of cards that you know is a pretty good hand, you lay them down on the table, and with them goes some of the weight that you've been carrying, as if they have been imbued with some of the depression and pain that Jesu has been suffering. And he taps the cards with his baton. And he says, "I can help you with some of it. Can't take it away, but I can show you the humor in some of it, perhaps. But it's still going to be there. You're going to have to learn to live with it. You're going to have to learn not to let it claim you." There was a moment, just a small number of hours ago, when I saw that you were entirely willing to end your own mortal existence in order to try to escape it. I'm afraid that's not an easy way out. That's the sort of pain that follows you when you're done. The catastrophic dragon stole some of the power that he had given you, but there are channels in your body and mind that remain there. If you wish, I can grant you those same powers without their anchor to the dragon. I can't heal it entirely. There is a remnant of him within you. It's going to mock you, it's going to haunt you. But it lacks the ability to do anything more than that, so long as you do not allow it to convince you of the things it says. And if you're willing to accept my power into those channels, you will have the same sort of power. The lightning and whatnot that you're familiar with. The energy of shadows will still be present, but it will not be sourced in your enemy. And, go ahead. I didn't hear any of that, sorry.
Jesse's just kind of quiet, for a bit.
Okay. In this world, you have to have teeth. The jokes that the universe throws upon you are pretty nasty things. They will bite at you, and you might bleed out if you don't learn to bite back. But understand that you are working towards good things. You are attempting to achieve things which are noble in nature and far beyond what most mortals ever have any chance to influence. Do you think you can find it within you to have the teeth to live?
I'll do it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Because honestly, the sorts of things you've been through have been truly terrible, and it's pretty funny when you think about it. But the absurdity is better than the pain, isn't it?
Sorry. It is.
Yeah. He says, well then, would you look at that? And he kind of points down at the cards and says, seems that you've won. And kind of pushes the pot of shadowy gold towards you. And he says, all right, get out of here. Do come again if you find more money. And you flash awake, and there's a little bit of pain in your lip as you reach up. You taste a little bit of blood there, and you kind of feel that your incisors have lengthened into fangs. And as you're kind of touching them, they shrink back to the size of normal teeth. And as you're thinking about what happened there, you find that you're able to again lengthen them at will into the fangs that were present there.
It's a freaking vampire!
So you have now gained this feature.
Huh.
Which comes with it the ability to produce this particular poison, which I will send you the information on.
Oh dear.
And I will be back in a moment.
Ah! What's your feature? Tell us. Sure!
Not yet, I gotta go to the bathroom too. What's there? Taking, switching, changing, hit. Okay. Ah.
Huh.
That's so cool. Man, David is so good. Is like feeding right into your characters. Holy smokes.
I still don't
Those
know
were
what's
awesome.
going on.
No?
No.
So their
Oh, mushrooms.
deities came to them.
Well, yeah, like I mean, I've been following like the story, but I didn't know if you got like details about the teeth or anything.
No, he hasn't told us
He
yet.
hasn't told us anything
Oh,
yet.
okay.
Yeah.
But also,
We all in the dark about the teeth and the bite. They're there and they're poisonous.
He's gonna bite me!
Cool.
my defense mechanism. Awesome.
Wait, just for a second.
You're already in your house.
Cosplay
You always got the look.
things. Oh my heck.
So as you can see from the information on that poison, it'd take you quite a bit of time and effort to actually produce a dose of the Mastercraft, but it's pretty powerful if you can get the Mastercraft version of it.
Sounds complex.
It's not it's actually not as complex as a lot of the poisons that he has access to, but it's more time consuming in universe. Because the base poison, you can just produce a standard dose once per day, once per long rest. And concentrating it takes a lot of doses of the base poison to get up to the Mastercraft level, and there's a degree of chance in it, so unfortunately there are places you could just lose progress, but that's because it's a pretty powerful thing if you get it.
Sweet.
Jeez.
Awesome.
Did we lose Daniel?
It looks like he dropped. He'll be back.
Let me see.
There he is.
Yeah, that did work as well as supposed to. Phone decided to die halfway through the conversation.
Aw.
It's all good. I'll pick it up later. Poison, lots of it. I just created a custom item called the Tattoo of Wisdom.
Yeah.
I clicked use, my wisdom score went. Yes!
Yeah.
That's like an 8 increase. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that it's a big upgrade, and it's not like a magic item that's attuned in that it doesn't use an attunement slot, and your wisdom is just that. If somehow you happen to find a magic item that further increases your wisdom, you could do that and still get more.
Whoa!
It's just like that.
That is so
Wow.
But let's see. So, yeah, as you kind of figure out how to control the growth of your fangs, and you have this sense of the venom that they can produce, you also feel much lighter. There is just some of the burden of all the pain you've been through has been lifted. Some of it's still there, but at the same time, you can kind of see the humor in it as you think about it. You're just like, wow, that's way too much for any one person.
It finally fell for me.
Yeah.
I've snapped. I finally snapped.
But you just kind of find the humor in it, and you chuckle to yourself as you begin to drift back off to sleep.
Yes. My save DC is 18 instead of 13. Woo! Holy cow!
And let's see.
That is. Whew. All that means is something bad's gonna happen.
yeah. Like, you're gonna need that.
Yeah. My passive perception is now 20. Wow! I can see everything. Good heavens. That's insane.
Alright, let's see.
So it's not that you're laughing, it's you're sinisterly laughing. Yeah, this is funny.
And like the base form of that poison is very similar to the effects of Tasha's hideous laughter. And like
Nice.
It's the Joker.
like the more powerful the poison gets, the more it does, and the harder it is to resist. So
Oh my goodness.
it's
I want to picture
it's a
somewhere.
fun.
I want to picture somewhere Jinso and Bowie just chilling.
I know, right?
Yeah.
They're back up in you know heaven, just chilling next to each other. Like, yeah, did you see what I did? Yeah. You gave him what?
Yeah.
I gave him a tattoo. You gave him fangs. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna bite
They're
himself.
trying to outdo each other.
Wow.
I have my warlock powers back.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's magical again.
So
They were
exciting.
gone. I had to fight a dragon without them. It was scary.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Woo.
Sorry, I'm trying to manage stuff that was not entirely prepared for, that I'm still trying to finish up enough so that it might be kind of stop and start for a minute here.
At 11.
No problem.
Perfect.
Let's see here.
So can you hear us a lot better than before?
It does
Quite a
help,
bit,
yeah.
There's still been a few times where it's been super quiet, but I mean, for the most part, we
Yeah.
haven't had like weird echoey reverb or anything like that through the microphones, and so my recording brain goes, yay!
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's yeah. Like I say, it's one of those selfish gifts. It just makes my job easier.
That's a very thoughtful selfish.
Oh, I'm glad you guys appreciate it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I was trying to find one that was low key and easy to plug in and just go. So that one came up. I'm like, yeah, it looks nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, David, can I retcon something?
What's that?
Before I left Jinso, I'm just gonna ask, so am I free of them?
Mostly.
Except for the taunting?
Yes, there's a remnant of him that will remain.
Just he gets like a little bit of a smile and walks off.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see here.
So good. smartest glass ever walked the earth. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Okay.
wisest.
It's probably not true. Yeah. Quite the difference between intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence -1. Wisdom +6. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
man, this is insane.
All right, so next up, Mouse. You are drifting off to sleep, and your eyes blink back open, and you're not quite sure where you are. You seem to be in a small cave or cell or something like that. Things aren't very clear, but sitting a few feet away from you, you see the face of Frederick. And says, Mouse, I'm not sure if this is working. I'm not sure if you're actually able to hear me. I'm pretty far away. I'm not sure exactly where here is, actually. They've been holding me. Some of the things they've done to me, I'm not sure what's happening. But I have this awareness I didn't have before of things outside of myself. It's hard to explain. It reminds me a bit of what she used to teach you. The magic. There's never much for any of that. Couldn't wrap my head around it, but this is, I mean, you know, couldn't do this a few days ago. It's very new. I don't know what they're going to do with me. But I don't want you to worry about me. I'll be all right. I've got some ideas. I might be able to get out of here. Gotten out of worse before. You remember the time? Yeah, you do remember the time. It's not the time to talk about it. Don't have that kind of time. Guards will hear me. Do you remember when I was teaching you the dagger tricks? How to move swiftly, how to make it look like you're not holding anything. Keep that in mind. I hope to see you again. Especially if I can't get out of here, I hope to see you again. That would be, I may need some help. Point is, I'm alive. Not dead. Don't think so. Probably not. Most likely alive. And, if I get out, tell you what, if I get out of here, I'll find you. If I don't, you find me. That would be much appreciated. Think about the daggers. Think about it. And you wake up and you get the sense that there was something real about it. It wasn't just a dream. And there's something about the connection that reminds you of the time he was telling you about when he showed you how to play the knife game on a table and like slam the blade down between your fingers faster and faster. And you are granted this feature.
Yay!
Oh.
Features.
Awesome.
Alright, let's see. I'm trying to... Some of this stuff I was only half ready for, so I'm trying to get stuff ready at the last second, which is why this is so slow.
Well, obviously, it's got great payoff, so you just do what you gotta do.
Well, worth the time.
Yeah, seriously. It's not even midnight. We got oodles of time.
You get the feature, and you get a feature. And you
Everybody gets a feature.
Crap. That's awesome.
Just over here playing clock solitaire, waiting my turn. Sorry, you were talking about playing with cards, and the cards were sitting over here, and I just wanted to play.
I keep toggling on and off my tattoo of wisdom so I can see what changes.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Ooh, I didn't know that changed.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
And your spellcasting is more usable now.
That's fantastic! Wow, I'm terrified.
I won my game.
Well done.
Yay.
I thought I'd lost, but I had not because the Tamati King showed up right up at the end. I was like, yeah,
Yay.
I'm always there for you. Just
means
kidding.
I win. Of course you are. You're my big bro.
In the darkest of night. So I pulled out my ukulele again last night, started playing. And I was like trying to adapt everything to be like Ruakoha stuff. But it was super funny. I was like, instead of Hallelujah, I was singing Ruakoha. This is super funny. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Heidi.
Awesome. I'm glad we didn't die.
Woo! We made it out with all
Hooray
this
for
stuff and
Matt.
more.
We survived the dragon.
We're alive.
And now he hates our guts.
I know. I'm terrified, actually.
But guys, my plan
Not
worked.
exciting.
Yeah, it worked great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then
That works
I
so
like threw the fire heart dust. I was, you guys like make a hole. I'm like, oh, I still have this stuff.
Sin.
That was not intentional. I didn't. I thought I could focus that fireball clear over there. And, nope.
Effective.
It was very
Okay.
I was very, very happy of how well it.
Unorthodox, but ludicrously effective.
Yeah. All right, Rin.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. You find yourself, as you drift off to sleep, you find yourself back in a place you haven't seen in many years, a cliff top that you last visited with Jamie. A cliff top overlooking the sea. And standing next to you, you turn and you recognize the shrouded figure of the Raven Queen. Without looking at you, she says, "The things that you are preparing to face are larger than what I had hoped you would need to. I understand you have spoken to Diego."
Yes. He sends his regards.
Would that I could speak to him. It has been far too long. All he told you is true. He is tiresomely straightforward in the way that he handles such things. Doesn't understand how to conceal his meaning. Stupid, handsome man.
Well,
There was a time towards the end
not
of...
always the brightest.
She kind of smiles below, like the part of her face that you can see in the shroud of the hood that she's wearing. You see a smile on her face. She says, "Towards the end of my time as a mortal, we were betrothed, you know."
Oh.
However, my ascension has made it impossible to speak to him. It has been a very long time since I have heard Diego's voice. But he sends his regards in the ways that he can. The things that are coming are going to be ugly. I may not be able to speak to you again for some time.
I was afraid of that.
I will answer your calls if you make them. That is all I am afraid I can promise. The war is growing uglier beyond the prime material. You of course understand how I hate undead.
Of course.
Unfortunately, the truth is that sometimes they are in fact useful tools. And it is within my realm to grant you some level of control. Don't misuse it. I will not be happy.
I'm afraid I don't understand, my lady.
You will, when you awaken.
Buckle up, Spanky.
If you speak to Diego again, give him my regards.
As you wish. My lady,
Yes?
will I be strong enough without your power behind me?
My power will always be behind you. I suspect you would be strong enough without it either way.
I fear that the magic that you have given me is all that I am.
You're an idiot, my dear. You consistently underestimate yourself. It's been a pattern from your birth. My telling you this isn't going to change anything. It will continue. You're stronger than you know. The strength that I am offering is... It colors it, but it does not create it. The strength must be there. Would not have chosen you if I believed that you were not strong enough to manage such things. There are millions of you mortals. Many of them worthy. But I only have one servant. Of this kind, at least. Chances are I will collect some of your friends before this is through. It will bring me no pleasure. But you must be prepared for the possibility. Will you be able to continue without them? If you stand alone, if all of them fall?
If I must.
This is why I do not advise connections, my servant. Connections distort your perception of what must be done. I will not stop you, but I advise against it. Those you care about will warp your understanding of need. Will confuse your understanding of what is want and what is necessity. Athsur will try to use them against you. Try to use all of you against one another. And the more of you are, the more openings there are. I'm not saying you must be unfeeling, but you must understand when to give up what you desire for what you need, for what all things need. Painful lesson, I assure you I understand that. I would not be here had I not made my decisions about Diego when I did. I would not be here had I not made decisions about others that I did. I do not expect mortals to be able to clearly understand the scale of such things, but you must know that things will not be simple. They will only grow more complicated for each of the people that you allow into your heart along the way. In your studies, have you ever read the name of Nethras?
Have I?
Make a religion check.
Okay. $10.
Yeah, you're not familiar.
I don't believe so.
That does not surprise me. Few records remain. Diego was the one I loved. Nethras was my husband. Nethras held this mantle before I took it. He was of the first. The god of death, before I took this mantle. His power twisted him. As a mortal sorceress, I took his hand more out of ambition than out of any real care for the man. But he was cruel in a way that I have determined death must not be. So I saw to it that the power would be in better hands. I killed Nethras. I took his power, I assumed his throne, and in so doing, I cut myself off from the only being, mortal or otherwise, that I had ever truly cared for. I did what must be done. The power is safer in my hands than it was in Nethras's. He was cruel. He allowed the ugliness within him to taint death itself. Death, the most natural of all energies. The one thing which is certain. Nethras gave it the darkness that mortals associate with it. Nethras made it what you fear. He used it as a weapon. Had I allowed my connections to stand in my way, that is still what it would be. Do not allow yours to stand in your way. I do not wish to seem cold, child. But the mantle is what it is. Death is what it is. I am what I am. Cold is a part of the power. I remember the sorts of things that you are feeling in a distant sort of way, but they are long gone from me, and so I cannot claim that I truly understand what you feel when you hear me speak these words. But you must understand that that coldness is defensive. It is a guard against both the things that would destroy you and a guard against the things that would destroy us all. You must be objective. Remember that.
Yes, my lady.
You need not like it, child. Nor did I, once upon a time. When I had the space to consider my preferences for such things. Little of who I was as a mortal remains. The mantle shapes the bearer. I hope for your sake that this is not a mantle you will need to bear in my absence. Should Othsur's plans come to light, however, well, questions for another time. As I said, if you speak to him again, let Diego know that his memory has not passed from me.
I will.
And she turns towards you almost abruptly, lays a hand on your chest, and you feel a searing pain. And as she draws her hand away, you clutch at your chest. And you can feel through the skin and muscle there that there is something inside, almost like divots in the bone.
Oh,
She says, "You have earned the Raven's Mark. Use it with care. Do not forget our purpose." And then you blink awake, back in the small cavern, still clutching your chest, still feeling that divot in the bone. As you kind of feel it out, you feel that there is some kind of mark engraved into your rib cage underneath your skin. The Raven's Mark.
Whoa. Must not be that good. She hasn't said anything about it. Just kidding.
Done. Shock of awesome.
Right?
Oh my gosh! Oh wow! Oh. So is that just something that's in the spell list?
Basically, yeah. It's treated as a Mystic Arcanum, so it's, I believe, once per long rest that you can cast it.
Okay.
However, the Raven Smite is treated more like a Paladin's Smite, where it just, like, you choose to use it after you confirm a hit.
An attack or a spell, so it could be a like a melee or a ranged attack as well.
Yeah, any attack, any spell that deals damage.
Wow.
So, like, you could turn a Hellish Rebuke into a Raven Smite, and it would stack onto that kind of thing.
Holy heck!
So
Good
That would be
heavens.
crazy. Wow.
Let's see here.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. She like bamped me away before I could ask about Kadrazat.
Yeah.
Right.
What were you going to ask about Kadrazat?
I just was gonna ask if he's alive.
Yeah, we can retcon that in enough that she'd be able to tell you that he is. And in that case, she would probably add that if she is able to contact you again, she may be able to give you a task to help prove Kadrazat's worthiness.
Yeah, it's kind of in the back of everybody's mind, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my part.
Oh my heck, you guys. Oh my heck.
Hey David, before Jesse fell asleep, could you kind of like, while no one's looking, kind of like put some of the venom into a vial?
Sure, yeah.
So the engraving, is it like in my sternum? Like I can feel it on my sternum? Or
Yeah, it's in your sternum for like the body and head of a raven, and then there are like feather shapes out across your ribs
okay.
you can only feel to a limited degree because there's like, it's a little harder to feel your ribs there, but you can
Yeah.
like it's much more noticeable right at
under the
like
brow
right at
there.
yeah, like right under the sternum where the flesh is very thin. It's easier to kind of sense the shape there, but
Oh my heck. Holy cow. Guess I better go put this on my spell sheet.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to put it. I don't know what level it is. Or how I play with this shenanigans.
If you mean create undead, it's a 6th level spell. It's
Okay. Am I
equivalent.
able to cast it now then?
Yes, it would be one that you would have been able to, like, once you get your first Mystic Arcanum, you would be able to choose it, but you have no need to at this point.
Okay.
So. Sorry, trying to.
Be awesome.
Oh, yep.
Takes a little time.
Guys. Holy cow. How do I put another spell slot into my spell slots?
Let's see. On these sheets, I'm not sure how it's done. I think you. Let's see,
You
we
can
go
note it
to
in your features. Like you can make your own feature notes at the
spell
top.
sheet options. Maybe. Let's see. I know there's a way to do it, but. Okay. If you go to the bookmarks along the left side of Acrobat,
Okay.
and at the bottom, or not the bottom, but partway down, under functions, click modifiers.
Okay.
That should bring up a box on your spell sheet that has the number of spell slots under 5th level for you, right? I believe.
Yeah, they're under 5th right now.
Yeah, it should say 2 there. Just change it to 3.
Okay.
Nice.
3.
And when you take your next warlock level, that'll go to 4. So make sure you
I bet.
keep that in mind.
Okay. Yo, guys, this is crazy.
No kidding.
It's murder. It's cool new stuff.
I just want it noted on the recording that I gave him the Morning Star of possum summoning before we got our actual stuff back. So he's got the dream version of it. I want that noted.
Okay. Nice.
Let the record show.
He's just gonna be super angry making possums and then like disintegrating.
He's gonna suffocate in possums because he.
I can't believe my plan works.
That's
Daddy,
so good.
Just clutch.
Stroke of genius.
Like, I'm surprised that that whole thing with the Raven Queen went that well, because that was so far the single most improvised thing of the night. I had the least prep
Sorry.
for that of anything. It's fine. We're just like butting up against the stuff that I had actually ready.
And putting the Raven's mark details into my note here on my character sheet. We'll just paste that in.
Yeah.
Actually, I should probably do that with like my Heart of Ebony and stuff as well.
Yeah. All right, Zafine. As you pass into unconsciousness, you find yourself, or at least your dream self, seemingly standing on clouds. Towards the edge of a bank of clouds overlooking the world from very high up. You can see a few continents sort of partially obscured by fog far below. And standing near you, you see both of your parents, Aloris and Kirik. And there's something odd and distant about them, and as they speak, they both speak in unison. You hear their voices perfectly timed one with another. As they say, "Hello, Zafine."
I've been looking for you.
You have been looking for your family. We are merely the faces with which we choose to speak to you. Rest assured, however, that for this time, Kirik and Aloris are well.
I have much more family than I knew. Or
When you find them, you will have much to discuss. And both of their faces turn to you, and their eyes are faintly glowing, strangely blank, and yet with almost infinite knowledge seeming to hide between and behind them. And they say, "We are the voice of Hesperes, the god of enlightenment and self-mastery, whom you have chosen to follow. Your devotion has largely been to your studies, which is as we would have it. Energy spent revering the gods is wasted. Energy spent mastering oneself is used. You have chosen wisely in these matters. Kirik and Aloris, as we have said, are well. They are exploring shores that those from beyond have not seen in a very long time. You will find
Where is
them. In time. It will not be too late for Aloris.
Like her brother, my uncle. To know.
What happened to your uncle is unfortunate. His choice was made, however. He sacrificed the self for what he felt more important. A noble choice. The balance weighed in your favor. We suspect that you may not be entirely happy with that decision. However, the balance favors what is needed. Your uncle's weakness was such that he could not have affected the world in greater capacity than what he did for you. His decision was made. We would call it the correct one. However, we suspect that is more for you to determine.
It's his choice. I wouldn't have make anything but his choice.
We will expect you to keep the balance when the time comes for you to choose. We cannot tell you what choice must be made, however. That is for you to weigh.
That is my goal. Good that just to confirm that I'm on the right track.
You and your companions will needs face the chaos before you will find your parents.
Then I can focus my energies to that end.
The balance will not be kept. The things that you will face will not right the balance. That is a challenge that will take more than one simple encounter with one being. It is possible you will not be able to right the balance. We hope to see you succeed, however, in the end. The chaos you will face before finding your parents, however, will be only a step along the road. It will come to you sooner than you expected.
Watch him press on.
You have faced this chaos already, but it will be stronger when next you meet it. Be prepared.
As much as possible.
You will not wish to hear this, but Aloris's time is limited. In the balance of all things, Kirik will seek to right the balance. He will seek to restore to her what was given.
Is that even possible?
With the strength of what he feels for her, yes. We will warn you now that the choice will have to be yours. Which way the balance falls, in favor of Kirik or in favor of Aloris. They may not be restored together. If what we have observed is true, the difference may be minute. One without the other may exist so far outside the balance that they may be unable to continue. They have balanced each other for a very long time.
Much longer than I had any thought or perception of.
We understand that the choices that you will need to make will be unpleasant for you, as they will be for Kirik and Aloris. But all things will find balance eventually. They await you within Iocene. It is a word which will mean nothing to you now. Once you face the chaos, all will be clear.
Committing that word to memory.
You will find your way to the balance. Whether you can maintain it is beyond our vision. We wish you good fortune in these efforts, however.
Thank you for gracing me with this audience.
And they both incline their heads, perfectly synchronized. And then the figure of Aloris picks up the figure of Kirik, and they take flight. And your back in your place underground. Now with this feature.
Features, features.
Oh. Nice. Nice. Most excellent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Weigh the balance. Awesome.
All right. Well, I will be right back, and we'll probably have just a little bit more before we tie up.
Cool. Do some
Oh
serious
my heck! you
show and
guys.
tell. All these features.
Where are you going?
In this room.
Mine was around here.
So awesome.
No.
As if you guys weren't overpowered enough. Like,
It's
throw stuff at you.
true. You love it.
That's the fun.
You, if we're overpowered, just scarier, bigger stuff.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
pretty much is.
It means he can play bigger because we're bigger.
Just makes it that much harder to balance.
Oh, your AC is 22. Does 37 hit?
No.
Well, I don't know. After that, I don't know if there's enough left to hit. I thought I was being turned into a vampire for a second. Look, huh?
Thought you were too. That was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I'll just use a vampire.
I'm not leaving the Underdark.
Not yet, anyway.
You were hoping, though.
I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with what I got.
I'm very happy with what I got.
Dude, you think?
I'm a freaking wisdom monster now.
And now
Right?
you have 2 stats over 22. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you took another monk level?
I did so that I could get the
Evasion.
evasion. Yeah.
That are you doing sorcerer?
Probably, I will probably stick to sorcerer because the way that my origin, the origin that David made up, fractal origin works, is that it grows in its ability in its support capacities.
Wow.
So like, and especially with like the twinning and
Yeah.
doing things as bonus actions, I can.
I mean, evasion is good.
Yeah. So
Like the misplaced fireballs.
yeah.
Guys, I can't believe that freaking worked.
It was so good.
I know, it's like, well, if we're going to have to run anyways.
Yeah, so it just means that I'll only get one more sorcerer, one more. Oh no, that's different. No, I'll get. Yeah, I'll get just one more meta magic, so. But that'll be fine. That's good. I'll end on the 13th level of sorcerer if we get leveled.
Nice.
Oh gosh. Oh.
Are you the only one that hasn't multi-classed yet? No.
I
Mouse
haven't
hasn't either.
multi-classed yet, but Mouse hasn't either yet.
Yeah. Mouse and Rin. You guys are gonna become super awesome at the end.
Except after this, I'm taking 3 levels of fighter before I come back to warlock. So I will
so
end
you
up
are
multi-classing, but
Just a little bit.
a little bit.
Wait for a little bit. I'll get us through.
But I'm resistant to necrotic damage now.
Heck yeah.
And I'm
Nice.
immune to the frightened condition.
Nice.
I have advantage on death saving throws.
Oh, good.
Excellent. Was that part of your feature that you got?
No, that was just from leveling up.
Nice.
No, my feature from this. Let's see if I can find it. Because I've been jumping all over trying to take notes. So,
Right.
basically, I get an extra spell slot.
Ooh.
I can use that spell slot for Raven Smite. So basically, I'm a paladin now.
Yes. Raven's Paladin.
Just chuck Loki.
So when I use Raven Smite, it's 5d8 radiant damage. And if the creature is undead or a fiend, it's 10d8.
Yes.
You did just piss
And
off.
then I also get create undead as Mystic Arcanum, which I can use once for long rest.
Whoa.
We just keep.
Minion.
Guys, we have 2 bags of holdings. We didn't just keep an undead army in a bag of holdings.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
So, does that mean they just come out of nowhere, or do you have to be like? by a
I think
graveyard or something?
I have to have a corpse, and I have to have 50 gold pieces per corpse in order to do
Okay.
it. Because I
Okay.
believe that if it has a gold price, that I have to have the gold.
Right.
Nice.
So, are they like there until they get packed up, or do they have a time limit?
Let me go check the spell.
For half a sec, I thought I was getting switched to the celestial pack.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
well, no, I'm the same. But for a second, I was like, oh,
it's flavored that way.
yeah.
Oh, they have to be humanoid. David just clarified.
Help.
Makes
you know?
sense.
Undead dragon.
Oh, really? That's weird. Yeah, you can cast this spell only at night.
Oh, interesting.
I can choose 3 corpses of medium to small humanoids, like medium small humanoids within range. And each one becomes a ghoul under my control.
Quick, who
As
has
a bonus
Smolder?
action, I can mentally command any creature I animate with this spell. If the creature's within 120 feet of me. I decide what action the creature takes and when it moves. If I don't issue a command, it just defends itself.
Yeah.
And it's under my control for 24 hours.
Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Oh, and then if I want to maintain control, I have to recast the spell.
Guys, be a necromancer and have no secret. Cemeteries become your shopping centers.
Nope. What are you? What are you? What are you?
Had to open a window in here because with my lights on, it's getting so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
We may end up adjusting the way that Create Undead works for you, just because with it being granted by the Raven Queen, there might be differences, but we'll figure that out as we go along.
So Maya's has a dream.
Somewhere.
in the world.
He sees the gold dragon.
Yeah.
They're besties.
That's where he gets his centaur
Yeah.
upgrade.
Alright, let me see here. So the next day, you all awaken, unaware of the things that have been seen by each of the rest of the party.
Except for a giant tattoo on Tomati's head.
Yeah, Tamaki does have a new tattoo.
It's fancy. It's a good one. As soon as I finish making it.
Yeah.
I keep kind of like absentmindedly like rubbing my.
Yeah.
Just to kind
Yeah.
of like,
Yeah, Jasu's just like opening his mouth wide and like, ha! Ha! Like,
oh no, that's
the heck is
that?
Joy.
Anybody else have a rough night? I slept really well.
Oh, it was cool. It was a good night. Sorry, was it rough? Was it a rough night?
Yeah, it's just ground's a little rocky, you know.
Oh. I felt like I was sleeping on a cloud.
Never slept on a cloud before.
Either. Different than you expect. A little soggy.
Sucky.
It's a little wet up there, you know?
I'll take your word on that.
let's see here. Yeah, Murmur has been keeping watch most of the night. He did sleep some of the time, but he was making sure that you guys didn't get ambushed.
Perfect.
What a guy.
Like, I just
And-
feel like I could help with that.
Yeah.
We got Ira as well, so.
We're so selfish. Didn't even talk about it. Just like, yeah, we're going to sleep. Good night.
Yeah.
Got us covered, Murmur. Good job.
And he says, as you all begin to awaken, he says, this hollow's a sacred place. It's one that was carved out by nature long before any of us were here. Not sure of its origins. Given my personal beliefs, of course, I've always assumed that Gel had something to do with it. But in any case, there is connection here to things beyond this world. If you had strange dreams, that's likely the reason for it.
I was going to say that explains a lot.
Mhm.
I'm glad you chose this place to camp. Those connections were very valuable. I can't speak for everyone else, but the connection I experienced was very, very valuable.
I'm kind of rubbing at my chest again.
Yeah. Gel had some interesting insights to offer me.
Awesome.
Yes. Coolis, this man you seek, he's not in Anzanet, he's in Hollow Points.
Oh.
Or rather, he's about to arrive there.
Oh, man.
We can either stop in Anzanet to gather some supplies to make sure that we're ready, or we can simply go around it, continue on to Hollow Points. At the rate we're traveling, if we're careful and if we avoid any patrols that might be around, we may be able to make Hollow Points in 2 days.
Is this what Gel revealed to you?
Yes. Yes.
That is an answer that we've been and we're hoping to get. So
Yeah.
to me, that is a clear path.
Yeah. Sure sounds like it.
I also understand the value of the coins now.
Oh, excellent.
What did we almost do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what if we almost barter away?
Yeah. He says, the Aegis has a city, and they call it Aegisilm.
Oh, good.
It's locked away in its own demiplane.
Oh my goodness.
That demiplane exists on the surface of every Aegis seal coin. If you know the correct activation phrase, you can travel straight into the city from wherever you may be.
Oh.
Wow.
All of the coins have multiple layers of some sort of magic to cast on them permanently, so they can't be identified as magical. If you'd examined them before now, that's likely why they seemed completely ordinary to you.
Holy cow.
The city has a number of teleportation circles that connect to various major cities on the Prime Material. The leadership of the Aegis use them to move rapidly from place to place.
Good heavens.
Whatever they're doing, this city is where they're doing it from.
Explain how
And
they're
he-
made.
Yeah, he turns to Mouse, who is still here even if Heidi isn't. And says, I have my suspicions that this city is where they're keeping your friend.
That would explain a lot.
Yes, it would.
Gel was not able to give me the activation phrase. I don't know how we get to Aegisilm, but I suspect that this Coolis may have an idea.
Yeah, especially where he deals with them quite often.
Right. Have to get
Hmm.
Slade.
If you're able to get to this city, you may be able to deal quite a significant blow to the Aegis.
Yeah.
And from there, conclude your business in the Underdark. Move on.
An exit strategy.
Explains how they can get away so fast too. So there's that.
Yeah. Untraceable.
According to Gel, the coins are only given to those who are considered disposable or those who are very powerful. Who can
That's
guarantee
very
this.
opposite ends of the
Oh.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Middleman.
Yeah, he says, it's, those who are considered disposable will simply likely be killed or otherwise kill themselves. And their secret cannot fall into anyone's hands, and likely those who possess the coins that they leave behind will not understand that they have anything of value. Those who are powerful enough to have the secrets will be able to use them to return.
Interesting. Yeah. Well,
I have a confession to make.
oh dear.
Your conversations with Death, I was in fact conscious for them. Like, although Murmur and Ira had appeared to be frozen during that, and I remained still. There's an advantage to looking like a statue naturally.
Yes, there is. Yeah, so we've been dealing that for a little while now.
This cause that you're in service of seems important. And frankly, over my head, business that is better left to those who are more engaged in the social day-to-day of kindred. I try to stay out of the way for the most part, but it's important. That's something I can gather at the very least. And the Aegis has one of the shards you're looking for.
Yeah, we've heard that.
It's in Aegisilm.
Okay.
It's insane, but if we strike quickly, use the element of surprise, we may be able to recover the shard and get out before the Aegis understands what's hit them.
And that would be ideal.
Yeah.
If we make good time and if we're careful, I may be able to get us to hollow points in a day's travel rather than 2, especially with the speed that your Goliath brings to us.
I'll be right back, guys.
If we can get there quickly while Kulis is still there, we may be able to get information out of him if he knows the activation phrase for the coins. We may be able to hit Aegisilm before they expect anything, but it would be guerrilla warfare. We'd be charging in small group against a much more prepared enemy. Really, all we would have on our side would be the element of surprise.
That's kind of what I do.
Darkness, silence, shadow.
Yeah, we've got several tactics at our use. Yeah.
I'm afraid Gel wasn't very forthcoming with any more information than that.
Yeah, well.
I did ask about the activation phrase, but he gave me something about how those who... Gods help those who help themselves and that sort of nonsense. Gotten it from him before. He's very unhelpful.
I don't know. Everything else he's said so far has been pretty helpful. It's very, very selective. Here's the hardest way to get this possible. Ready, go.
He's
Now we know where
helpful.
to go.
He's just helpful in a way that expects us to still do most of the groundwork.
Yes, exactly. Interesting.
Must admit, if we
Cut
can
in half.
charge in, do this, and get out, if we survive this monumentally stupid idea, it would be nice. Would be nice to see the sun again.
I agree.
It's been some time.
Yes, it has.
So I'll leave it up to all of you then. Do we want to take the risk of stopping in Anzanet, gathering the supplies there, or do we want to make as much speed to hollow points as we can in hopes of catching Kulis there?
Kulis is slippery. I think we need to make every haste to catch him if we have the chance.
I agree.
Chances are, if he continues to move, then we'd have to follow a trail.
The shorter the trail, easier to follow, so...
And with his Aegis connections, we don't know if he has access or connections to people with these coins to move him even faster, beyond our ability to track.
Yeah, there's that.
because he's slipped through everyone else's fingers.
Well, if it's agreed, then I will get us to Hollow Points tomorrow. Possibly as early as tonight if we move quickly enough.
Ooh, that's fast.
Den's network, just who's sister.
Your fish jerky, let's do this.
The Veskrin estate is just outside of Anzanet, so his plan is kind of to try to move around Anzanet and head straight for Hollow Points. So.
Yeah, I would look at you and say, are you fine if we avoid your sister?
Let's buy something to deal with better.
That was a little quiet.
Oh, that's probably something to do with another date.
Okay.
What kind of get?
Because it's your loose end, so if you're willing to tie it up later, I
We
feel
should
like...
practice with some kids, but it's possible to get this.
Well, we have two primary options to get to Hollow Points quickly. We can either go by land all the way, in which case it is more likely that we'll run into patrolling members of the Veskrin estate. Risky in its own way. On the other hand, if we go slightly to the west and continue up, we may be able to steal a boat, cross the Sea of Glass, scale a wall into the sea, into the center of Hollow Points, which we'd be less likely to encounter Veskrin patrols. However, it's also possible we'd run into traders who would take note of our presence, possibly report them to people that we wouldn't want to know about us, or pirates, for that matter. By land or by sea. Sea's likely slightly faster, if we can commandeer a boat. Land's likely a little safer. As safe as any such thing can be.
We definitely don't want to alert Kulis.
Yeah.
Said running.
Well, assuming no traders or pirates run across us by sea, then it's perhaps quieter. And then Hollow Points sees plenty of sea trade. They wouldn't be as suspicious of a boat on its own. Travelers in our numbers seldom travel by land down here. Usually, if anyone is traveling, it is large caravans or individuals who are strong enough to take care of themselves. Small groups like ours would take some notice.
Except on a ship, we would need more people to run it.
If we can commandeer a boat, we likely have enough hands that we would be able to get it to a destination. It's ultimately a question of whether we choose the fastest option that has one form of danger or a slower option that has fewer but equal forms of danger.
I'm inclined towards sea myself. To everyone else.
I love the sea.
We've sailed before then, Goliath.
Oh, yes. Spent a few years doing it.
Been on boats, but never formally sailed. It would be fascinating.
Yeah. It's hard on the best days. On the worst days, it's even worse. But it's always worth it.
Well,
To
by
Sue?
sea then, is that what we're considering?
How would we commandeer a boat?
How do we do anything?
I'm sure we could find a way.
There are docks in Anzanet, and there are docks near Anzanet. The docks near Anzanet are, technically independently owned. However, that is to say that two-thirds or so of the ships and craft there are vessels owned by the Veskrin estate. We may be tangling less directly with the Veskrin estate. However, if we're going to steal their boats, we're going to draw their attention.
That is true.
So obscure boat as possible would be preferable. Find it.
Yeah.
I see it is.
All right.
Alright, we'll move swiftly. We'll commandeer a boat at the docks near Anzanet. And we will cross as quickly as we can to Hollow Points. If things go well, we'll be there this evening. Things are slowed down by any interruptions. We'll likely make Hollow Points early in the morning. Either way, if we move swiftly, hopefully we can catch Kulis. According to Gel, he's only just arriving in Hollow Points. Any business that he's conducting will likely take him at least the course of the day. It's unlikely he'll be leaving before tomorrow afternoon at some point. As long as we're swift, we should be able to catch him. Question is, what do you intend to do once we arrive to actually intercept him? A man of his resources likely has guards, likely has a caravan of his own, resources of his own to protect him.
Very true.
Do we have manacles and stuff?
Do you have what?
Do we have manacles and stuff?
Probably.
What's a good?
No.
What's a better?
Yeah, I was
What's
gonna say, if
the-
not, we could probably find some. Pretty
I was gonna
easily.
say, what's a better price than selling the brother of matriarch of the house?
That might draw some attention.
Yeah.
That
It's
might
not-
specifically draw Veskrin attention.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we do it well, we don't have to worry about him telling you. It's an option. It's an
Yeah,
option.
definitely.
I think that's like a better
Definitely
option.
an option.
If we really need his attention.
Alright, well, be thinking about exactly how you want to handle the approach, because next week we will get you guys into Hollow Points to find Oswald Kulis.